Hello my friends and welcome to episode 36 of our Football Manager 2021 Let's Play with Rangers. Today we are taking on our great rivals Celtic in the Scottish Premiership. The first time I think we've covered an Old Firm game for a little while, so I'm excited about that. Plus we want to beat them as we always do. It is at Ibrox, but since the last episode we've got a January window to cover and a lot of fixtures, so we're going to cover the fixtures first and go into the January window. I don't think it's going to spoil anything. So we beat Motherwell 1-0 after the Hearts game. Chris Rendell with a late winner against Motherwell before we played Aberdeen, a 7-1 win. Tony Weston with a hat-trick, Kai Kennedy on the score sheet, Pavlovic and Young Coombs getting himself a brace before we played a friendly. I'm not going to cover that too much. Adam Holzek got us a 2-0 win with a brace against St Mirren. We then played Hibs, we won 4-2. Young Coombs and Kent scoring before Patterson got himself sent off. Mayer got a brace before Jason Cummins got a brace to keep us in check a little bit. But we were really seen out the game, even with 10 men, we were fairly comfortable. We then played Dundee and a 4-0 win. Holzek with a goal and Stražinia Pavlovic with the second hat-trick of his career. He scored one against Hibs last season, if you remember. Another two headers, and then we got a penalty, and we allowed people on a hat-trick to take a penalty. Only a 9.1, which is a bit bizarre. Andy Halliday, former Rangers player, of course, getting himself sent off. He had a bit of a shocker. Not surprising he wants us to win, of course. We then drew 1-1 against it, but a bit of a frustrating game, this one. They scored early, we battered them, and Drami eventually got in the back of the net, but really should have been much more comfortable. Then turn of Livingston, Pavlovic, Young Coombs and Weston on the score sheet, and a 3-0 win before we played Killie. 5-0 win there. Young Coombs with a brace, Weston with a goal. Jean Castillo, it's a spoiler that one, on the score sheet. We'll have a look at him. And Filip Benkovic also on the score sheet there before we played Inverness, Cali, Thistle. Nathan Young Coombs with a goal. Tony Weston with a hat-trick. Charles Elena with a goal. And Adam Holzek also with a hat-trick. Daniel Mackay got one back for them. Cameron Harper then got himself sent off. We were slow to start here, but once we got going, we really got going. So that gets us into the next round where we are playing Dundee United. So we do have some spoilers there that I didn't think of. So let's get to our season review. Now we'll start with the outs. So on the outs we have Stephen Kelly going to Watford for 3.7 million. I feel like we could have got more for him. I believe there's a sell on this, I can't remember. So I think it's a fairly good deal. I think he was at that point where he was at an age where he wasn't going to develop much more. I think he was not getting a huge amount of game time. Just cashing in, getting 3.7 million pays for some money to come into the youth team. You know, he's a guy that came through the youth team. It doesn't hurt our youth development programme too much losing him, but it just sort of putting some more money into that. He played 53 games in total for the club with 4 goals. He's currently going to Watford and played 4 games down there already. Had that loan spell at Hamburg and as well. He was a very good player for us in spells. It was the right option to replace Stephen Davis at the time. Unfortunately, things just haven't worked out for him, and he is off now. Caventus and Devine both away on loan at Elfsborg. Michael Brown also went there. Livakovic, the first big sale in a while, has gone to Inter Milan for £40 million. I was also offered the interview with the Inter job. They are not the team they were last season, which might explain some of the switching results. They were sitting mid-table Serie A. They have appointed Pep Guardiola now. But Livakovic, we love this guy, but I always knew that he wasn't going to stay here for a long time. It does say he's a world-class goalkeeper. That's why I bought Naki Pena. I expected him to go in the summer, and Naki Pena just fills in that void. He is getting a bit happier now, so his performances are starting to come to life again. Now that he's getting first-team football. So it's a 40 million for a £3 million replacement in Essential. We'd already made a £3 million replacement that I know we can already make profit on because we've had offers while he was unhappy that would have made profit. How much did Pena cost us? 3.1 million. So it's a like-for-like replacement. Nilshino is well on Barnsley. Joshua Harrison away to Hearts for some money. Now that was a pre-deal that they decided to trigger early. I'm more than happy with that. Jamie Semple away on loan to Inverness. Liam Diamond away to Hibs. Now Liam Diamond was a bit of a funny one. We signed him from Hearts for £35,000. I felt like he had something about him. He just never kicked on, and Hibs were very interested in him. And it was at the point where he was like, I want to go. So eventually I caved and went, right, do you know what, I'm happy. We've tripled our money on him. He's never played a game for us. Let's just take the money and run, kind of thing. There was a few issues that I had with him. So his vision meant that I didn't feel like he could play deep line playmaker. or the Mazel Euro. His heading meant I couldn't move him back to centre back, where I felt he could have done a job as well. And he can't cross, so I couldn't move him to full back. So it was kind of one of those where I felt like he was the right player to buy at the time that we bought him. He's not really developed. He has some issues in various areas that I feel like just tripling our money, and I think there's a sell on in that as well is a good deal. Hilko Gash. Now, I don't remember this dude. He came through our youth team. He has gone to Dundee for £600,000. Never played a game for us. Reports suggest he was never going to play a game for us. I do have some issues. Santos. I've got two Santoses out on loan here. We'll cover them. There are some ins, so we'll cover them in the ends. Robbie Fraser away out on loan to St Johnstone. He is a decent young player. Probably be a backup player next season, sort of take on the Stephen Kelly role if we sell Charles Elena. But again, I felt like getting him on a loan deal, and St Johnstone were happy to give us that. And then Jamie Hamilton, who had all the potential in the world and has kind of just been pushed down because of our very, very strong centre-back youngsters coming through, has gone to Atlanta United for £1.4 million. Played 5 times for us, 1 goal. Played some loan time with Elfsborg. Cost us £50,000 plus a part exchange. Now, I can't remember who that part exchange was, but I remember it wasn't someone that important. Who was the Jamie Hamilton part exchange? Jamie Hamilton, 4th of the 1st, so we'll find out who that was. That was Jack McConnell. Jack McConnell is a goalkeeper who is never going to make it with us, let's be honest. So 50,000 plus a goalkeeper that's currently worth 1k, so we're going to call it 60,000 tops, realistically. We need to get right back to this season, however, and that's that bit of business. So we've brought in 3.7, 40.3, 44 we'll call it. Joshua Harrison, another million we'll call it. So 45, about £47 million we brought in this window. What we have spent is far less than that. Now, we've mentioned Naki Pena was the like-for-like replacement for Dominic Livakovic. You can see here he's very good, still got room to improve. Already valued at $8 million now, he's starting to break into the team. Conceded 4 goals, which isn't ideal, but I believe that most of them were when he was unhappy. Has asked to leave, wants to start more games. Now, that will come with time. You know, that'll completely sort itself out. So, first of the ends. Now, we did sign Nil Shino, as I said, at the start of the season. He was, a pre-contract deal that we triggered early on to bring him in. How much did he cost us to bring in? 8k early. He's had a couple of loan spells. He's doing okay. We're getting 3.5 of that back, and he had a loan earlier on in the window season back to Brazil. So, we've already started to bring that money back in for him. So, we now have a lot of Brazilians that we've brought in here. So, the first of them is Bruno. Now, Bruno is currently a fullback. He's a more defensive fullback than you normally see from me. Currently plays centre back as well. What am I training him as? Because that's a bit of a debate. I'm bringing him as a wing back attack. So I do feel that he can. I have obviously felt that he can come in cross. Now, I've not been on the save for, since I've gone through to get to this point. So that's been about 2 or 3 days at least that I've not been on this save. So I can't remember all my thought process. But I do feel, I'm looking at that, crossing is already 10. So he can develop it. Very, very solid defensive fullback. It's going to be difficult to get past this guy. Positioning may be a bit questionable, but 18 tackling, he's sort of the opposite of Tav, what Tav was, if you like. But hopefully we can develop him going forward, and he could be a very, very good player. If not, jumping reach at 10 is not the worst. He could survive as an emergency centre-back cover. Santos is next. Now, there's 2 Santoses. Now, this is another right-back, this one. Again, I feel like I'm retraining him as a centre-back, but he's currently out on loan. He's got jumping reach of 14. Heading's maybe a bit of an issue, but overall he's fairly good. I do feel like he could play both roles. Crossing needs a bit of work again. But again, already on loan in the Bundesliga too, kind of shows you where he is. Stat-wise, he's not that far off. So another right back for the youth team. We then got another Santos. Now this one is a centre back. Monster in the area, that's 16 jump reach. Already on loan at Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. So again, shows you where this guy is at 18. Very, very excited by him. Another free transfer as well. Positioning needs a bit of work, tackling needs a bit of work, passing needs a bit of work, but overall a fairly good centre back that has a lot of time to develop, and another one to come into our revolving door of centre backs. We then have Walter Garland coming in, another one on a free. Now he's just a sort of backup option, long term striker, fills out the youth team a bit. He's 2.8k. we're going to struggle not to make profit on him. He's already worth 12, or 11 rather. When he kicks on and develops, he could become something pretty good. Do you know what I'm actually going to do right now? Is discuss new trait. Who is our most attacking guy? I'm going to Park Jung-si, finishing training, and I want you to shoot with power because you're fairly low composure. So try and blast the ball. I am telling you to do it. So hey ho. We then got another Brazilian, Cleberson Felipe. He is a young goalkeeper, 3.5-star potential, give or take. Goalkeepers is something of a bit of an issue now. My youth prediction for this season is absolutely abysmal again, but it does say there's a good goalkeeper in it, so we might finally get a goalkeeper come through. We've not had a goalkeeper come through since we started to save. So we've got Juventus, who is currently on loan, and we've got Jay Hogarth and whatever goalkeepers we've been able to bring in. None of them were particularly great, so it was a bit of a gamble to bring in Cleberson Felipe, whether he develops or not, but I feel like he could. We've then spent $3.5 million on Mark Baloya, a Filipino English player. He has 5.5-star potential, so £3.5 million. It's a bit of a gamble on a 16-year-old, and I'll fully hold my hands up to that. But I think if you look at him, he's got all the stats in the right places. How are we training him? Deep line playmaker, that makes sense. Does have some issues with his vision, so may see him move back eventually. Jumping reach of 4 is again a bit of a problem, so we might see him move around. But he's at 16, he has a lot of time to develop. In fact, the centre back's never going to be an option because he's 5'3". Ignore me saying that. But he does have a lot of time to develop. You know, he could see how it goes. If we can get that vision up, which I should be training for final third. No, not final third. Passing. Yep. Should be training passing to make sure he does. I think that's a very worthwhile thing. He also has second nationality of English, which means no work permit issues on him. We've then also made a bit of a gamble on Stuart Warren. He is 3.5 million, rising to 4.7 million, a left back from Aston Villa. 4-star potential on this guy, also 16, so another big risk. But I feel like, you know, even if we risk a couple of these guys and it goes wrong, we've still got a chance of making it work out over the course of them. So, you know, for example, we've got the Finnish lad who's currently out on loan. We've got another lad that I've got a bid in for, an 18-year-old Korean who is waiting on a work permit, who looks outstanding. You know, we only need 1 or 2 of these guys to make it to really make the money back. So if you get 1 to get the money back and then 2 make it to make the profit, that's fine. I feel like we had no left backs coming through. We had left back issues across the board. So I don't mind taking the risk on Stuart Warren here, who I am also going to make available for the under 18 because I feel like a lot of game time would be good for him. He's automatically gone into the reserve, so kind of goes there. You know, before the January transfer window, I felt left back wise we were kind of stuck with, if Bradadic got injured, the only person that could play there, we could put Josh Hoig there, we could put Nathan Patterson there, but both of them realistically playing out of position. I know Josh Hoig starts as a left back, and he is left footed, I believe, in real life when I've seen him, but he's right footed in games where we've created him as a right back because he suits our system better. But that's kind of worked out that way. We've got David Ramsey in for 600,000 from Kilmarnock. He is another centre back. But look at these stats: 17 tackling, 12th position. Okay, needs a bit of work, but hey ho. He's got good passing, 20 jumping reach, 11 heading. He is only 17. 600,000 is an absolute bargain here. 4-star potential. I am very excited by this dude. I really am. You know, at 17. I don't think he's that far off. Realistically, he's already had 12 games for Kilmarnock, so it really shows you where you are. Jean Castillo on a free is the best transfer we have done this window, without a shadow of a doubt. Just look at these stats: 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. Now I've been trying to sign him on a pre-contract for a while. 18 years old as well, by the way. Already valued at 11.5 million. So just have a look at these stats. I've been trying to sign him on a pre-contract for a while, and then and he was saying, please wait, I want to leave my options. And I was like, right, that's fine. And I think if we'd managed to do that, we'd have got him on about 8 to 10k a week, you know, and then had to renew his contract down the line. And I completely forgot about him. And then in January, I got a notification: Celtic have made a bid for Jean Castillo. And I'm like, who's that guy? So I had a look at him and went, oh, that guy. Yeah, I can't let Celtic get him. So as a left back, where he is natural, I don't like him. He's got too low crossing, and he's not got that big monster tackling. Obviously, the Brazilian right back to make up for that. But I was looking at him, more and more. And I see a perfect deep line playmaker in here. You've got 16 passing, 11 vision. Okay, 11 vision could improve. We can work on that. 13 technique, 17 work rate. Very quick. Decent strength. Great decisions. Good anticipation. Decent, all these things. He's decent in the air. Decent heading. We could put him as a centre back if we wanted to here, because he's got decent jumping reach. So he could be a fairly good left-hand sided centre back who's capable of bringing the ball out of defence. What I am doing just now is deep line playmaker, because it's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Again, if you were to go as a centre back, he wants to be a ball player. Perfect stats. Central defender, which would be our left-sided one. Again, perfect stats. This guy at 18 is already knocking our captain out of the first team. That's how good he is. And then the last one, another bit of a gamble, but I needed gamble. I did try and sell Maxwell, as I've mentioned previously. We have an issue at left back, so this is why. So as much as Jan Castillo can play there, I've just shown you all the reasons why I feel like he is better centrally. So we've gone with Eric Vincent, who is an 18-year-old French left back. Now I did promise him a loan, so we did have some attempt to do that. He is a bit more like Bradaric, and I feel like he can actually challenge Bradaric for that spot. He's already had a couple of games. I'm excited by this kid. He comes from Florentina for 4.7 million, so another gamble. But I think I'm calling it a gamble. I don't think this is a gamble at all. At 18, 3.5 sort of potential, I feel like this guy could be the guy that, if we lost Bradaric, I wouldn't be scared anymore. In other words, if we lost Bradaric going into January, I was petrified. Now, that's just taken a lot longer than what I thought it was going to. Clap my hands if you guys wondering what was that there. I'm used to Twitch just now, and I have my camera on Twitch. I need to get a camera on YouTube. But I don't think you want to see who my last subscriber or my last follower was on Twitch, because I can't update that to YouTube. But hey ho, that is what it is. But thanks guys, we'll see you pitch side for the Old Firm game in literally 1 second. Here we go. Old Firm day. They've also made some changes. You can see Walter Benitez in goal for them. They lost Barkas finally. He left. In real life, I'd be fairly disappointed at that. In this game, I'm fairly content with that, to be honest. He's been a bit broken in this game. But hey ho. But we've got Penangle, we've got Nathan Patterson, we've got Benkovic, who did have bids. We turned down a bid from Spurs, which he wasn't happy about. We did have a bid which I accepted from Leeds, which he turned down. So hey ho. He's still here. I'm not disappointed not to lose him, to be honest. Probably would be about the right timing. I think Lewis Nielsen's ready to kick into the team. We've obviously got another bunch of players for that position ready to sort of start breaking through as we went through. We've got Pavlovic in there. There was no bid surprisingly for Pavlovic. Now he's got a lot of interest, so I was surprised with that. Bradaric is in there. Nico's in there. Ross McCrory is currently injured. So Juan Castillo does start in the midfield with Harley Ewan on the bench. Nathan Young-Coombs has been absolutely outstanding in that right wing role, so he's going to continue on there. Lovro Mayer returns to the team with Rankin and Adam Holzick leading the line. I was debating between Holzick and Weston, and I've nudged for Holzick. I keep calling him a different name every time I pronounce his name, but hey ho, I'm sorry guys. Please bear with me on it while I learn it. He's probably going to be sold soon anyway. We did have bids for him in January. None. They were even remotely close. The same with Lovro Mayer. In fact, Lovro Mayer's biggest bid was £30 million. There is no way in hell I would sell Lovro Mayer for £30 million. And also to clarify, he also said that he had no interest in going to Atletico Madrid, which is absolutely brilliant as well. So he wasn't even annoyed at it. That was great. So the only real loss we had this window was Livakovic. We got through it pretty much unscathed. In fact, I think Pena is not as good as Livakovic, but he's not far off. And I think overall, Benkovic hitting the bar, unfortunately, early on. Jan Castillo just improves the team. That's a decent free kick off the bar. Garner on the rebound. We cannot be conceding goals like that. We've got to be stronger there in the air. We're such a good team in the air. We have to be stronger. That is frustrating. Very frustrating. Hey ho. It's a decent free kick. I thought the free kick itself was dangerous. But the guy who's marking him, who is it that's marking him there? Castillo, he doesn't even jump. Right, he's not the strongest in the air. No, he's actually fairly decent in the air. He's 15 jumping, isn't he? He doesn't even jump for it, Jan Castillo. That is not good enough from our Colombian international. Our new Colombian international, of course. We've not had one since Morelos, but that came through to Nathan Young-Coombs. Not sure how it got there, but 13th goal of the season for the Englishman. Outstanding season from him. He had a good season. I wanted to give him a shot. He's keeping Marin out of the team. I did accept a bid from China for Antonio Marin. Got rejected. It was a mistake by Bron. I think the initial pass was for Hlozek. Bron's got a touch on it, but it's just diverted it straight to the path of Nathan Young-Coombs. That is absolutely outstanding. Perfect stuff from him. We are going to ignore that because he is developing in that role, and I think he's more than capable of playing it even on when he's unfamiliar with that. Excuse me. Pavlovic to Castillo. Kent. Cross again for Nathan Young-Coombs. Doesn't get past his man this time. Falls to Nathan Patterson. Back in for Nathan Young-Coombs. Mayer. Nico. We're all lining up and we cannot get it on target. That is poor. That is poor. You've got to be hitting the target there, my dude. Pavlovic with a free kick again to Jan Castillo. Pavlovic forward for Lovro Mayer. Back to the Colombian Castillo. Bradaric. Pavlovic again. Just playing out his back here. Fairly contained. Benkovic forward for Young-Coombs now. He's got a bit of space to run into. Tries to find Kent. He does find Kent. Hlozek back for Kent. Another big chance not taken by us. Excuse me. I've had this cough for a couple of days now. It's not an unusual cough. It's not a worrying cough. I constantly feel the need to cough. It's not anything I'm concerned with though. We've been the better team. We have been the better team. Just keep doing what you're doing. Make the difference. I know you're capable. I'm going across the board with that because I really want to fire everyone up as much as we can. We're in cruise control until I'll show you all the competitions. Well, I'll show you the league table after this. In fact, can I show you here? Because that would make sense. In fact, no, I won't. I'll show you after the game. But we're comfortably in the lead of the league. We've already qualified for the Europa League and Europa League 2 next season. Is already done. Can't find Hlozek there from Meyer, unfortunately. Trincao, if I realised he was available and the price he was available they got, I'd have considered it. Now he's left footed, so he doesn't particularly fit my winger roles. That is a terrible tackle from Castillo. And on that note, I'm bringing him off now because he's been at fault for both the goals. I'm going to bring on Harley Ewan, or say both the goals. Been at fault for giving away a penalty and the first goal. Not happy. Harley Ewan's going to come on for him. Not good. This is my marquee signing, the guy that I've got so much confidence in. It's not good enough. Seriously not good enough. Demand more. Come on, guys. I'm going to bring Tony Weston on for Mayer as well. Hlozek's having Hlozek, he's having an absolute shocker in midfield, and I'm gonna just let it sort of time out a bit, see it down, and we'll bring on Josh Doig for Nathan Patterson. I'm not happy with this performance at all from the boys. We've had big chances, we've not taken them, and we've lost 2 silly goals. A needless penalty, and a challenge that had to be made. It wasn't made. It frustrates me. We're a much better team than this. Mayer to Nico. Young-Coombs. Across to Kane. Back to Nico. Benkovic. Nico again. Pointless highlight. Absolutely pointless highlight. I'm getting a bit pissed off with this now. We could get a water bottle thrown here. We really could. Been a shocking second half from us. Said about firing them up, and we've had no reaction. In fact, it's been worse in the second half than it was in the first. We've been by far the worst team here. Second half. First half we're by far the better team. Second half they've been by far the better team. And I'm just not happy with it. We're dallying around here. That's taken 30 seconds to put this down. Here's Harley Ewan picking up a knock, unfortunately. Pavlovic. Get it forward for Pete's sake. And then another poor pass. It's just poor. Across the board it's been poor. I can't believe you guys have had to watch this. This is our first league loss in something like 60 games. And that is the performance this came with. It's an absolutely terrible performance. So the water bottle is getting thrown. They're all going to be demoted. I really don't give a shit. Excuse my language. Don't want to use it official as an excuse. You won the game. Hey ho. 63 games undefeated in the league. That is a performance that ends it. I'm annoyed. 63 games for that. So there's the league table for you guys. They've got a game in hand, but we're currently about 12 points clear, so they could close it to 9. Excuse me. Yeah, because their win will take them to 62. So yeah, provisional 9 points clear. Nathan Young Coombs second. Look at the top goal scorers, by the way. Mayer, Young Coombs, Weston. Hey ho. Assist, Mayer, Kent. Average rating is Mayer. Man of the match is Mayer. There's a reason why I wasn't selling this guy for 30 million. An absolute reason that guy was not going for 30 million. Hey ho. That's annoying. I'm annoyed by that result. I'm going to end this episode before I get too angry with it and talk myself into a bitter rage. We're going to jump next to the next game, which will be the home game against Juventus. I prefer the home games for that. One, it's a bit of a break for us. Keeps the season sort of in a schedule. And two, I think our performances at home tend to be better. Not that that one is any judge of that, but I think our performances at home do tend to be better. So we're going to jump to there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed despite the result. I hope you'll join me for the Juventus game next time out. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time.